right, let's get to some Premier League action. So we've had a nice midweek game. Liverpool getting a 2-0 win away against West Ham United. But we do have some matches this weekend, which we have curated some special picks for you. Welcome to the show, my good friend Al, special one Ninos.
Just a reminder, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube page and hit the bell if you want notifications every time we post a new video.
Why don't we start with the one game that I swore we wouldn't do anymore on this show, but I looked at the lines on this, and I looked at this matchup, and I thought, oh, you know, it's at Old Trafford, it's Man United. This is probably the most unreliable team from a betting perspective you could possibly find right now. They're playing Wolverhampton Wanderers. United dropped the last two in a row in the Premier League. That was to Liverpool, which was no surprise, but then to Burnley, which certainly was a surprise. They did finally beat a team from Merseyside, though, so don't worry about that. Everyone's feeling good at Old Trafford. You know that, right? Nope, they beat Tranmere Rovers 6-0. 6-0 in the FA Cup fourth round. That's the first League One side, by the way. Marcus Rashford still out for United. And look, I think it's too early for their brand new signing, Bruno Fernandes, to play this weekend, although who knows? They're in such dire straits, they may chuck him out there, but he certainly won't be tuned to the Premier League speed. And Wolverhampton Wanderers, they're coming off that 2-1 narrow loss to Liverpool, where quite honestly, I thought they were spectacular. I thought this team gave Liverpool the biggest fight Liverpool have had all season. They play some of the best fast counter-attacking football in the league, other than, say, Liverpool. Look, they've got guys like Adama Traore and Raul Jimenez, who's, you know, a true number 9, one of the few true number 9s in the league. I happen to love this Wolves team, and I think they're going to put a beat down on United at Old Trafford. That's why I'm going to take the money line on this bugger, plus 247. All right, Al, you're up.
I think it's going to be a bit closer to that. Yeah, Manchester United, definitely a very inconsistent team, but they're still right outside that top 4 we talked about, you know, trying to make the Champions League. They're quite a bit behind, but they could still make it. Yeah, Wolves, as you said, they were in great form, winning a bunch of games, so they've cooled off a bit. They had a great game against Liverpool, but again, that's tough to win against Liverpool. So no surprise with that result there. My pick here is I'm gonna take Manchester to keep it close at home, and I'm taking the draw at plus 230.
All right, you're going to take the draw. I'm going to take Wolves. So there you go. Let's move on. Next one, Bournemouth, Aston Villa. This is at the Vitality. This is basically a relegation battle. Villa not quite in the relegation zone in 16th. Bournemouth certainly are at 18th. And look, I thought Bournemouth's 3-1 win at home versus Brighton probably saved Eddie Howe's job at least for a few minutes. This team's still awful. Look, since November, 13 games, this team's gone 3-1-9. And they've only scored 8 goals. I mean, the fact that they beat Brighton was a shocker to me. And then for Aston Villa, actually, they've been in decent form since Christmas. They're 3-1-2 in the last 6 games. They beat Watford at Villa Park last weekend. They had a good draw versus Brighton. But look, they can score goals. I mean, not a ton of goals, but they're scoring more goals than Bournemouth. I like this Villa side. I think they're on a bit of a roll right now, which is why I'm going to do an Al Ninos on you here. I'm going to take Villa plus a half at minus 133. How do you like that pick, Al?
That's an interesting pick. I also see them at a pick 'em at plus 162. But the way, again, I just think the home side, I know it's an awful, I mean, this game is the exact opposite. This is, we talked about trying to make it into the Champions League. Now we're talking about trying to stay in the Premier League. And again, I think the home side, I don't know. I think we were looking at some close games, and I think we might have we get a lot of value here on the draw at plus 267.
You're going to go with the draw. Draw's not a bad choice on this one. What did you say the pick'em was? I might change mine. Well, you said the
pick'em was at plus 162.
I looked for a pick'em. I couldn't find one. It was plus 162. I'd take a pick'em at plus 162. Plus money on a pick'em. Are you serious? Oh, but you're going plus money on Bournemouth for the pick'em. What's the plus?
No, I'm going draw.
Oh, you're going to draw. Okay, I got it. Okay, next up in the last game, Leicester City versus Chelsea. This one is at the King Power. This is Brendan Rodgers against Frank Lampard. And look, things have been a bit rocky for Leicester City since, say, mid-December. They had those back-to-back losses to Man City, Liverpool, which completely understandable. But then they have 2 bounce-back wins, but then they drop 2 games to Burnley and Southampton. I mean, it's a little bit strange. They come back with the win against West Ham, but look, you're seeing the effects of a long season on a squad that's not that deep. They've had a couple of injuries here and there. And I just think that the length of the season and the pressure now coming up from the likes of Man City, who leapfrogged them into second place, and obviously Chelsea below them is pushing on them. But for Chelsea, they're a bit all over the place. They've got a 6-point cushion in fourth place. You mentioned Man United, they're in fifth place. Hello, Fernando Ramirez writes to us on Facebook. Chelsea,
What's up, Fernando?
they had a nice little run going, but they have been all over the place. They lost to Newcastle away. They drew Arsenal away, which is why I'm actually going to go with the home team for the win here. I'm going to say Leicester City 2-1. Take the money line plus 164. And I like this as a 2-1 scoreline, which means take the over. It's 2 3/4 at minus 129. Those are my picks, Al. How do you see this one?
Yeah, I don't know. I see another close game here. Yeah, it's the same.
Well, 2-1's a close game,
today.
Al. That's what I said. Close as you can get.
It's close. It's close. And you said you went with Leicester there, huh? Again, I'm going with the draw again. I think all these games, the most value I see is on the draw. I think they're all close games, and they could. I mean, for all of them to end in the draw is pretty tough. But I think that's where the value is, and I think they could actually. That's definitely my favorite pick. I would agree with you though if I had to pick a side on the first two. The last one, I don't know. I'm not so sure about Leicester. Yeah, maybe I would agree with you. I'd probably take him pick him though at minus 112 if I had to. But I like my draws first, and then I would agree with you on the sides though if I had to. Pick
but I mean Leicester's at the King Power. They're a pretty strong team at the King Power. Chelsea a little iffy on the road. They did drop those 2 games away. If you remember, I mentioned that was Newcastle United, and the draw against Arsenal was at the Emirates. So St. James's Park in the Emirates when they are away. This one is at King Power, and I don't think Chelsea are at their best when they're on the road.